Let me talk to you for a second. You've booked a client. You're excited and are ready to wow them and the world with your creative abilities and deliver to them the best project anybody has ever delivered to anyone in the history of the world. Then, as you have more contact with your client, you start to realize that this job and this client just might not be for you. So what do? Well, hang out and watch this video to see how an ounce of prevention is better than a pound of cure, and learn about the 7 red flags that should give you a heads up to pass on and even fire a bad client. Let's go. Hey folks, welcome to my channel. My name is Eric Peters. I'm a photographer here on Vancouver Island in very, very beautiful British Columbia, Canada. Seriously, if you've never been, I urge you to get your passport up to date, get your jabs, get on a plane, and get your butt here right now. It is one of the most beautiful places I've ever been to, and I'm very blessed and happy to call this island home. One of the things I hear from friends and from clients who take my workshops are the horror stories of terrible photography clients. I'm not talking about bridezillas or clients that are attentive to details, or even ones that have personalities like Stripe and Gremlin. So what are the red flags you should be looking for to help you avoid bad clients? Well, I can name about 7. And if you have more to add to this list, then put them in the comments below. And let me know your worst client stories and how you fixed them. Or maybe didn't. Now, before I start ragging on clients, I want to talk to you. Problem clients are a fact of life, and it is always better to fix a relationship than it is just to burn bridges. Most times, a good honest conversation with clear expectations and a clear understanding of how you and your client can remedy things is essential and usually works. Clients generally want the people they hire to be successful because that means that they will be successful too and get what they want. So before you enter into contracts and take on gigs, try to make it a habit in your personal life to communicate more frequently and add more boundaries and clarity to the things that you want in your life. It's absolutely easier said than done. But believe me, saying words like, I have firm boundaries, will change your life for the better. God, I feel like a dad. Shout out to all the dads out there. Red flag number 1, they don't respect your time. Time is a precious commodity. With the speed of the world and all of our responsibilities, time is precious and should be and must be treated like that. Now, people who don't respect your time are incredibly exhausting in general, and that sentiment can also and does also extend to clients. These clients tend to want things on their schedule, don't respond to you promptly, and usually don't have boundaries and can't understand that you aren't working for them 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Red flag number 2, the client either isn't paying or is underpaying you. I don't know why this is number 2 on the list, but there is an argument to be made as to why it should be number 1. I'll say this, and it's a caveat. I don't do them often, but here it is. There are some circumstances where clients do come across challenging times. And if you have a great relationship with them and have worked with them in the past and trust that they'll do right by you and you can afford to wait for payment, that's one thing. And only you know that. But if a client, and especially a new client, has a bad habit of not paying you, going back on their word, failing to give you the deposit, or when they do pay you, they're paying you weeks or months late, ditch them. Take the loss. It's okay. On a side note, always get a deposit. I usually collect between 25 and 50%, depending on the type of work and logistics involved. Am I traveling? Do I have a makeup artist, hair, wardrobe, lights or locations? Does the site need props like a boat or a hanger? Regardless of what it is, just make sure you get a deposit. In the words of one of my favorite rappers and philosophers, J. Wayne Jenkins, scared money don't make no money. And you are worth every single dime. Red flag number 3, the client doesn't respect the contract. Scope creep is terrible. It's the devil. It's gross. Avoid it. Avoid it, avoid it, avoid it like you avoid gas station sushi. If the person you're doing work for keeps trying to get you to do work outside of what was already agreed on and doesn't want to update the contract with revised compensation, newsflash, they're using you and hoping that they can squeeze some free work out of you. Don't let them. If you've told them that the contract needs to be updated to reflect that new work and they can't agree, they can't find the time, they disagree constantly and they keep pushing, cut them loose. It is worth it in the long run, even though it will feel terrible at the time. Red flag number 4, they berate you. Abuse of any kind is a no for me. The first time it happens, it's over. A raunchy email, an abusive text, phone call, in-person conversation. You keep your cool, they do their thing, you peace out. Make sure you CYA, for those of you in the right generation, you know what I'm talking about, and leave. Get out, get out, get out. One instance of a client verbally abusing you is enough. Please don't take it. Please don't dismiss it. Value yourself and your peace of mind because there is nothing worth more than that. Red flag number 5, they're unrealistic. Have you ever heard of the phrase, you can't get blood from a stone? Well, if a client is adamant about you delivering something you can't give them, it'll more than likely create tension in that relationship that will turn into contempt really quickly. Have a clear conversation with them about expectations, and if you can't see eye to eye, part ways. And if you're not noticing something about these 5 red flags that I've given you so far, a lot of them can be cleared up by what's in a contract. But we'll get to that a little later on. Red flag number 6, you're losing money on the job. If you spend more money on a client than you were making or spend more time on a project than you've planned, you're hurting yourself and it will affect other parts of your life. Stick to your plan respectfully. Red flag number 7, you hate doing the work the client wants. Wait. Just let's all calm down. Chill out. Before you tear into me in the comments, we as photographers have done and will do work for clients that we aren't pumped to do. But your visions have to be aligned. And if you do realize that it is a bad fit, it's probably best for both of you to part ways on amicable terms, or at least as amicable as possible. Firing a client is never an easy thing to do. So resist the urge to tell them everything you hate about them, never tell them where to stick their project, and never, for the love of everything that is holy, apologize. Just don't do it. Always remember that your reputation is exceptionally important, and you have to protect it with everything you've got. If you choose to fire your client, fire them with as little drama as possible in a respectful conversation, and while it will be an awkward conversation, if you do it right, it won't be as bad as you think. It won't be fun, but you're bound to run into a few times where the fit isn't great as you get more clients. Don't make any rash decisions, and don't feel guilty about doing something in the best interest of you, ultimately your client, and also your craft. Remember, folks, take the high road. Do your best and keep your reputation intact, and be sure to know that you will have more great clients than problem ones. But if that isn't the case, it is probably you, and that's a different topic and completely different video altogether. With that, thank you so much for spending this time with me. I really do appreciate you. And if you've got something to add, leave a comment below and tell me what you liked or didn't like about this video, but be kind because I will reply back. If you think other photographers in the community will benefit from it, suplex that subscribe button, share it, and add me on Instagram at @IamEricPeters, and feel free to slide into my DMs if you have any questions. Also, don't forget to check out my portfolio and website at ericdanielpeters.com. Sign up to the newsletter to get free goodies like model posing tips and cheat sheets, contracts, and model releases, and to know when I post new vlogs. I love you all and appreciate each and every one of you. So see you next time. Be safe, treat each other kindly, and remember, shooters, keep shooting. Peace and love.